At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. Whether it's a walk-off grand slam or a base hit to center field. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Virginia. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. Whether it's a walk-off grand slam or a base hit to center field. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Virginia. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. See for yourself when you sign up today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Virginia. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply.
Hello and welcome to the Paddock and the Pavilion with me, your host, Stephen Wallace, for the second part of our series, Embracing the Challenge with Hermione Drummond Moray. Hermione is currently preparing for the Macmillan Ride of Their Lives charity race at York Racecourse on Saturday the 15th of June. Trainer James Ferguson, strength and conditioning coach Glen and Megan Hayman Tansley from Macmillan will be joining us to help update you all on Hermione's horse, fitness and fundraising. But to begin, Hermione's got a horse. Welcome back, Hermione, for part 2 of Embracing the Challenge.
Thank you very much for having me again.
How are you? Much fitter and stronger?
Yes, I feel a lot stronger anyway. And yeah, fitness levels feel like they're a lot more than what they were 6 months ago, that's for sure.
And you're managing to fit everything in?
Just about.
Well, in part 2, we're going to focus on your horse, your fitness regime, how it's affecting your life, if you've got one at the moment, what with all the time you're spending riding and training, and most importantly, raising money for Macmillan. But to start with, you now have a horse.
I do. He's a lovely horse as well. So I've been spoiled.
And his name's Currency Exchange.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's James's essentially his lead horse, and owned by James himself. And yeah, he's done a few charity races before. He very much knows his job, and he is looking after me, which is awesome.
On that point, I think it's about time we heard from the trainer himself, James Ferguson, who I spoke to earlier today, and this is what James had to say. James, what's it been like having Hermione ride out with the team in the mornings?
She's doing really well. She'd obviously had experience riding normally before she came, but she had no experience riding racehorses. And she's worked very hard. She's a very bubbly, nice person, and has fitted into the team very well. So we're delighted with her progress. She's worked very hard, and she's very, very capable. She's a very capable rider, and I feel that she's going to do very well in this race.
What's it been like for you being part of the project?
Oh, great! I'm very good friends with Hermione, even before she came and rode out for us. So it's great to see her do so well, and she's clearly loving it. So she's risen to the challenge well, and I love being part of it. This horse is running a couple of charity races, so he knows what the game's about.
I notice Currency Exchange, the horse has run at York before as well.
Yeah, he's run at York. He ran at York. He's actually ran in this same charity race a couple of years ago under Lucy Horan and ran really well, came second. So Hermione's hoping to go one place better.
So he should be suited to the atmosphere because there's a big crowd on this day at York.
Yeah, listen, he's a very nice horse. You know, we wouldn't be putting her on it unless he was safe as houses and very experienced. So no, he'll love it. He hasn't. He's mine. I own him myself, and I keep him for very special occasions. So he knows what the game's about, and he'll be relishing the fact that he's allowed to go and race again.
And it's such a wonderful cause, Macmillan.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, close to charity that's close to a lot of people's hearts because one way or another, people are affected by cancer all the time, and it's a really great opportunity. I think they've raised for the race. I think they've raised so far a total of almost 100 grand. So no, really, they obviously do a great job, and I think the race is a wonderful opportunity for the racing community to get behind and support.
Is York a lucky course for you?
Yeah, I've had. I won a fair few races at York. Best probably being I won the Group 2 Voltager up at York with Dover Legend. So yeah, no, we've had a number of winners at York. It's a very fair track. They do a really good job, and you know they always put on a spectacle.
Well, good luck to you, the team, and especially Hermione on Saturday, the 15th of June.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
What's your reaction to what James had to say?
Yeah, great. Positive, which is great. And yeah, they're just, him and his team have been so supportive. And I'm lucky, very lucky to ride him because he's currently he's a great little horse and he knows his job, which is great.
So you don't mind getting up at 5:25 for this 6-year-old gelding?
No, he's very sweet. I do bring him treats in, which I feel like has been working recently. But no, I'm a relatively early riser anyway. Just need to make sure you get plenty of sleep the night before, because they can be long days otherwise.
He should, Currency Exchange should be used to the course then, because he's run in the race before.
Yeah, well, I hope so. He did amazingly well with Lucy Horan on board of him a couple of years ago. So yeah, hopefully he'll know what he's doing, and yeah, he'll remember it well.
You are listening to The Paddock and the Pavilion with Stephen Wallace. If you missed part 1 of Embracing the Challenge with Hermione, you can find the show on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Google, Spotify, or on our YouTube channel. There's lots more to come in part 2, so let's get back to Hermione. As a former international event rider, how different is it riding a racehorse?
Yeah, very different. Very, very different. It's just a totally different style of riding. Like it was very humbling getting on for the first time going up Warren Hill. You're obviously riding a lot shorter and you have a lot of contact with the horse, whereas eventing or whether it's polo or dressage or anything like that, the contact is much softer. Your hands are a lot softer in that respect. But yeah, it's just the level of strength that you have to have, because also your stirrups are shorter, so your balance is just a totally different style of riding. So yeah, I feel like I'm starting to get to grips with it all, which is great, and it helps that I have such a wonderful horse to ride.
Well, keeping on the subject of fitness, I've now got a surprise guest for you as well, because I also spoke to Glen Reid.
Oh, did you?
Your strength and conditioning coach at Peter O'Sullivan House in Newmarket. So let's hear what Glen said on your progress training at Peter O'Sullivan House. How's Hermione getting on just over a month before the race, Glen?
Yeah, you know what? She's flying. So they have to do a fitness test prior to racing. And so we actually completed the test last week just to sort of see where she was at in preparation. And I think we got about, it scored out of 21. It's like there's 1 point for a certain time, then 2 points, and it goes up to 3 points. So 3 points is the most spin you can get for each exercise. I think out of a score of 21 across the 7 tests, I think we got 19 out of 21. So yeah, we're doing pretty good already, to be fair. So which is great because it gives her like a lot of confidence with where she's at and the work that she's done to now kick on. So it just sort of means that, and I guess we can enjoy this final part of the training block before the charity race, but it also means that she knows that the work that she's been doing has always been beneficial because she can go ahead and crush those sort of fitness tests. So yeah, she's been doing really well. So I don't think she expected to get anywhere near as good a score as she did for those series of fitness tests. So to got 19 out of 21 with only a little bit of work to do is easy changes to make so that she can get hopefully 100% when it comes to doing the fitness test. I think it is at the start of June. So yeah, she's doing really well. Again, like she comes in independently as well. Like she'll do her sessions with me and she'll do her sessions. She'll come into the gym by herself and do her program. So she's really driven into it. So no, absolutely can't fault her attitude. I wish some of my more professional and apprentice jockeys had a similar work ethic.
You mentioned on the previous show that you were building on the base, so she's obviously gone further than that now. And you were talking about getting the higher heart rates for longer periods.
Yeah, so she'll do a lot of stuff with Michael Hills, the jockey coach, and I'll liaise with Michael to make sure that she's doing some jockey cam footage and some races on the equisizer. So it's some really sort of sport specific, rider specific conditioning work. We've also utilised probably like the watt bike and the assault bike and the ski erg a little bit more. So we've cranked her cardio up a little bit. From a strength point of view, we're lifting heavier weights, be it a barbell or dumbbell than we're doing before. So we've just, I guess we were sort of simmering initially, and now we're boarding and sort of in prep for the main event, I guess.
And just over a month to go now to the race on Saturday, the 15th of June. Are you confident Hermione will run well on the day?
Again, she'll run well. She knows her expectations, as I said previously. Seemed to do pretty well with winners in charity races, so she knows what's expected of her. It's a first place or nothing. So hopefully she can bring it home on the day and come into the gym afterwards with a victory smile. So yeah, no, she'll run well. I think she's feeling more and more confident with the work she's doing at James Ferguson's on the horses as well, and there's an element of that. So we've tried really hard to get her to understand how much stronger she has gotten and how much fitter she has become, because that has a huge confidence element to then the race riding stuff. And then as she knows she's getting better on the racehorse from that side of things, hopefully when it comes to the day, she can enjoy the day, not be too nervous, soak it all in and ride really well and look back and go, you know what, actually, what a fantastic experience. And, that and the fantastic experience being the whole thing, from signing up to with Macmillan to doing the training in the gym to getting to Ferguson's to the race day, etc.
Well, thank you, Glenn, and thank you for being part of the Embracing the Challenge podcast.
That's right, a pleasure. Yeah, good luck, Hermione. I'm sure she'll crush it on the 15th, and we'll be watching. So no pressure, but first or nothing really.
No pressure there from Glen then.
Again, yeah, definitely feeling the pressure now.
But he said in part one about being comfortable being uncomfortable. Is that the case?
Yeah, definitely. It's really good. Like he does push me, which I need. And yeah, the other day I went in on my own and I was doing my own thing, and I think I was on the watt bike doing my kind of sets, and he came over and he started kind of being like, come on. So it's good though, because he does push it, and if he sees me, lifting weights that he thinks I could be doing heavier, he comes over and gives me a stern talking to. But it's definitely, I can feel the difference, and all the work that I put in, I do feel like it's paying off now. I can feel the difference when I'm on the horse as well. So I just think my balance is a lot better as well. So it's been a really, really cool last few months, just seeing how physically I can push myself, and how my body has changed in that respect.
And the pre-test went well.
Yeah, it did. I think I kind of came in and I was like, right, in my head, I have to kind of think, right, what points, what exercises am I going to really kind of do well in, and others I'm going to be weaker in. And we went through it all. And I was quite surprised with the result of it. A lot stronger. There's a few exercises that I still need to work on, but at least now I kind of know in my head what I actually can do, because if I did it the first time, I can certainly do it again. So I'll be practicing doing that a couple times a week, so that I'm kind of pushing myself constantly, and and then working on the ones I'm a bit weaker in. When is the test? So fitness tests on the 4th of June, and the riding tests on the 5th of June. So it's all up around York area. So I'll go out for a couple of days, and so hopefully, all the riders will be, well, actually I think it's potentially split into two different groups, but there'll be a lot of riders there on the day that I'm going out.
Oh, that'd be nice to actually meet the riders again. Yeah,
it'll be really nice. I mean, we have this great WhatsApp group where everyone, chimes in here and there and kind of chats about what they're up to. But it'll be great to see everyone, and just see everyone kind of on a horse as well. It'd be nice to kind of see that.
You're also having jockey coaching with Derby winning jockey Michael Hills. What difference is that making?
A huge difference. I've kind of seen such a difference in terms of how I look. He films every time I'm, come in on the Acquisizer. I've noticed a huge difference every time he's filmed me. He's great. Last week we did he started kind of teaching me how to actually push out, and that was great. It was exhausting, and I need to keep doing it. Mike is he's amazing, and he's taught me a lot over the past few weeks. He came out with me 10 days ago. I did my first piece of fast work, which was brilliant. I was a bit nervous going out, but he was, there with me. We were in a 3, and we had myself, Mike, and Safi Osborne. So it was good fun, because they could see I was a bit nervous, and very much kind of made me laugh, and I relaxed in no time. And loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Oh, that must have been great, mixing with some stars there.
I know, it was it was pretty cool.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. See for yourself when you sign up today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Virginia. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. Whether it's a walk-off grand slam or a base hit to center field. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Virginia. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. See for yourself when you sign up today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Virginia. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply.
Let's move on to personal life, if you've even got one at the moment. What's daily life like apart from going to the gym, jockey coaching, going riding out in the mornings, and going to work? What else do you do?
Not a huge amount. I kind of, if I'm going to be doing lots of social things, it's on the weekends. So I kind of wake up at 5:30 every morning, riding out first lot at 6:30. If I can fit into, I will before work, and then I'm at work, and I try and fit in a workout at lunch. If I can't do that, I'll do it in the evening. I'd certainly like to go for a walk with a friend, or like I love cooking, so come home and cook. But yeah, on the weekends I have tried to, very much try to kind of see friends, and I've got, had quite a few weddings recently, so been able to do that. We just have to kind of try and balance it with keeping up, exercising and riding. So yeah, it's good. I am amazed with how much I can fit in a day. But you certainly feel it when you've not slept enough.
Must be important though to have some relaxation, some downtime from this event that can take over your life. Yeah,
yes, I need to remember that. I'm not very good at sitting still, so it has. Yeah, I'm trying to do more of that, to just kind of chill out in the evenings. So yeah, whether that's cooking or reading or watching Netflix or something like that, or talking on the phone to friends, I'll try and have at least a couple hours to chill out.
And working at Barnes Thompson, they're very supportive.
Yeah, unbelievably supportive. They are, so amazing with helping me do kind of all the training I need to do. It's been, things are certainly getting busy for us as well with a lot of the sales around the corner. So considering everything, they've been super supportive, but they know that, I make up kind of any, try and make up any hours that are lost, that, if I'm kind of late in from riding out or going to the gym. So yeah, but no, my boss, Simon, has been an absolute legend in that respect.
Finally, we must never forget you are raising money for Macmillan. And first up, I'd like you again just to shout out your main sponsors.
Yeah, so I'm unbelievably fortunate to be supported by some seriously amazing sponsors. So I've got Waikato Stud in New Zealand, the Racing Post, Tattersalls, and Knight Frank Espana. They have all just been incredible, and I have also recently been supported by Gibson Salary, who donated me some race breeches. So I will be printing their logos on my legs. So I'm just kind of, that's all in the process now. So going to try them on was a bit daunting the other day. But yeah, no, I'm incredibly lucky to be supported by such amazing companies, and all that are, feel, very passionately about Macmillan as well. So yeah, a huge thank you to them.
Well, it's time for our final guest, Megan Hayman Tansley. She's a Relationship Fundraising Manager for Macmillan. And I spoke to Megan last week, and this is what she had to say. What does the annual Macmillan Charity Race Day at York Racecourse in June mean to Macmillan?
Oh, it means so much, Stephen. It is our partnership with York Racecourse is 53 years old now. So we've had 53 different versions of the race day, and it's raised a huge amount of money. And in fact, it's the single biggest day fundraising event that Macmillan does. We had our first one back in 1971, and you can't even imagine the amount of people that have supported over the years. The event has raised over £10 million. A lot of that has been spent in Yorkshire, but also different services around the country, because as you can imagine, the riders that take part in the Ride of Your Lives do come from different places. This year, we've got some in Newmarket, we've got some in Leicestershire, but we do still have a lot around Yorkshire. It's a really fantastic event. And on the day, we get about 25,000 people that are there to cheer on the riders and take part in the different events. So it's a real gem in the fundraising diary.
It was a great idea back in 1971, whoever came up with it.
Yeah. I'm not sure who that is, but we can definitely thank them nowadays.
It must be one of the events that you're working on 12 months of a year.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a whole team of people, both at York Racecourse and at Macmillan. So I actually only kind of get involved in a small part of it almost. So my role as a relationship fundraising manager means that I get really involved in the Ride of Their Lives, the amateur race. So we select our amateur jockeys just before Christmas the year before. And then we invite them to a launch day at the racecourse in December or January. And then we take them on this journey over the next 6 months, right the way up to June, where we support them to fundraise. They have to train physically, and they have to find their horse and their jockey coach. And it is, I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say it's probably one of the hardest 6 months of their lives that they'll go through. Most of our jockeys are full-time employed, and they basically take on an extra part-time job to do all of this. So it's a huge amount of work. We also check in each month, at least once a month, with the jockeys. So we've been getting together on Zooms or Teams calls. We have a WhatsApp group where we're all chatting together, and then I'm there for them if they need any fundraising advice or Macmillan branded materials, or just want someone to have a moan about how hard their training is. And then other people are involved with the rest of the fundraising activities on the day, which we can talk about later. At Macmillan, we've got Amy at York Racecourse and Anthea, and we've also got the York Committee, who are a group of volunteers who absolutely support all year round to plan, not just for the one this year, but also for the ones next year.
Just going back to the actual race, this year is the 11th Ride of Their Lives at York Racecourse. Yes,
it is. We've had 11 years of Ride of Their Lives. Last year in 2023, we took a break. We took a year off. So the Macmillan Charity Race Day still happened, but we didn't have Ride of Their Lives. And it came back with a bang this year. And in fact, I would argue it's stronger than ever. Our riders this year have raised more money earlier on than any other ride we've had before. So we are really proud of them.
You really look after them, don't you, with this regular contact?
Well, I think we've got to. It's a huge commitment, and we're so grateful for what they do for the charity. I'm not always an expert in horse racing or horse riding, so the racecourse has got our back for that. But when it comes to Macmillan and the impact they're having on the charity and the huge difference they're making to people with cancer, that's what we can do to support them.
They must feel a lot better and comforted in knowing that you're there all the time.
I'd like to hope so, yes. I've met some wonderful people doing this over the last couple of years.
And you've got a range of ages as well again this year.
Yeah, we do. We have, I believe our youngest is 18, right up to in their 50s. And I absolutely don't have favourites. I'm sure there's one that will come out. We might have an underdog, but it's really good to see a range of people taking part. And in fact, our oldest rider, Carl, this is his second time taking part. He is the first person ever to take part twice. So he's making Macmillan history.
And in this podcast, we're following Hermione from Newmarket.
Yes, we are. Hermione's done really fantastic so far. She's thrown her whole self into it. She's training hard. She's fundraising hard. In fact, she's raised £6,000 right now. And I don't doubt that will keep climbing in the next month towards the race.
Talking about race day, what's involved on the race day for Macmillan?
Well, it's a massive event, and there's more than just the Ride of Their Lives taking part. So we actually have 2 days of racing that Macmillan are involved with, both the Friday and the Saturday. And then before that even starts, we have what we call the jump of their lives. So if you don't want to take part in an amateur race, you can jump out of an aeroplane. And that takes part 2 weeks before, on the 1st and 2nd of June. Like I say, and then on Friday we have racing, we have raffles, volunteers collecting from people at the racecourse on both Friday and Saturday. We have a silent auction that goes live actually a month before the race day. So from the 15th of May, there's a silent auction. It's online, so anybody can take part. And if you're not there on the day, you can also bid. The website for our auction is macmillancharityraceday.org.uk. So do feel free to go on there and have a look what lovely prizes we've got on offer in the auction.
So that's a shout out for anyone who cannot make the race day on the 15th of June. They can still support the Macmillan Ride of their lives.
Absolutely. And then other things we've got going on race day on the Saturday, we have a philanthropic dinner in the Dante Suite upstairs. So we invite guests to be there with Macmillan and to raise a huge amount of money. We are privileged to have some wonderful supporters. And then, of course, we have the Ride of Their Lives. So all in all, there's lots and lots of fundraising activities going on, which contributes to the huge total that we raise each year.
Yes. Can you give us an idea of how much you raise for the Macmillan Charity Day?
So far, it's raised over £10 million, which is absolutely phenomenal. And over £1 million of that has been raised through the Ride of Their Lives race.
So what do you expect to raise in 2024?
Oh, Stephen, that's a great question. I think 2 years ago, last time we had a Ride of Their Lives, we raised £500,000. So I think we can absolutely smash that this year, but let's see.
And what difference does the money raised make to people with cancer?
Well, right now, 1 in 2 people in the UK will hear the words "you've got cancer" at some point in their lives. That's half of all people, and it is a huge fight that Macmillan are here doing. The race day goes towards supporting Macmillan, and we have a range of different services for people with cancer, including our Macmillan nurses, which are so fondly cared about in society, but we are much more than our nurses. We also have a phone support line, which is 7 days a week. We have Macmillan financial grants, which people can apply for. That's to help with things like heating or new clothes, or even travel to the hospital for chemotherapy appointments. We also have Macmillan information centres. So they are usually based in local hospitals where you can see a Macmillan member of staff, you can pick up leaflets, you can talk to volunteers, and they are based in the community where people can walk in and see Macmillan. And in fact, this year, a lot of the fundraising at the charity race day is going towards a refresh of the York Cancer Care Centre at York Hospital. So Macmillan have pledged a £2.1 million redevelopment of that centre. And to give you some background on that, at the start of the pandemic, the centre closed. Obviously, face-to-face cancer care was really hard during that time. And there was online and virtual appointments there to replace it. It has since reopened, but people can only go there twice a week due to the space and the capacity that the team have. And demand for that service has doubled since the pandemic. So Macmillan have pledged a lot of money to refresh and make sure that people with cancer in Yorkshire will get the care that they deserve. So not all of the money from race day, but a good amount of that will go towards that project. And it is so desperately needed for people.
It must make you proud to work for Macmillan and to work on the Macmillan race day at York Racecourse.
I am absolutely proud to do this role and to work for Macmillan. I talk to people day in and day out who have cancer, or their friends and family have cancer, and it is a privilege to be there to support them. I think I would say every single person that raises money for Macmillan has been touched by cancer somehow. And that means that we can be there to support more people in the future.
Thank you very much, Megan, for being on the Paddock and the Pavilion, and best wishes for race day on Saturday, the 15th of June. And hopefully I'll see you on the day.
Thank you, Stephen. Just before we go, let's give a shout out to the 12 riders taking part this year. You're all doing amazing, and I can't wait to cheer you around the course.
That must make you feel better hearing Megan.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, she's been such a support to all of us, and it is actually incredible how much collectively as a group we have all made. So yeah, and just being able to know what really, a reminder of how much we've made, what it will all go towards, and what it can accommodate is, it's incredible.
How is your own sponsorship going? I know when we last spoke, you were going to have an event as well.
Yeah, so I'm having an event in London, but I'm the main crux of hopefully kind of pushing and hopefully reaching my 10K target. Will be an online auction. So in the next few days, this will be going live, and I've got some fantastic donations and experiences up for grabs. So that's where I'm really hoping to be able to kind of to reach the 10K target. Obviously, if it was more, amazing. But yeah, with 5 weeks left, it is very much the last push, and just trying to raise as much money as I can now.
Sounds like it's a real team effort from all the 12 jockeys. Yeah,
it is. Oh, totally. And everyone's so enthusiastic and so supportive of each other, which massively helps when, you might not be having the best day if you've ridden and you've not done as well as you wanted to. But no, it's a serious team effort, and everyone's very positive, and everyone has done so well for raising as much as we all have.
There you go. Now Carl's done it. You could be the second person to ride in the race twice now.
Yeah, I think I am. I might have a bit of a year off. No, it's great. It's certainly very addictive. I'll definitely be carrying on riding out after this. It's a pretty amazing thing to do, to wake up first thing and ride up Warren Hill, especially when it's sunny, which we've had just incredible weather recently. So it makes it all a bit better.
Yeah, well, they've been doing that 350 years, but it's not quite the same when you're doing that in January and February, is it?
No, absolutely not. The first week, I think it was the coldest week they had of the year, and it was -7. So it's really nice now going out in my t-shirt.
So what's now on the agenda for Ride of Their Lives program?
As in, fitness levels?
Everything, really, yeah.
So last 5 weeks, so I've got a kind of event in London and getting everything up for the online auction. So starting to push that and trying to get that out, just try and raise as much money as I can. It's the last push. So in terms of fitness levels, so yeah, just really pushing myself now, and gymming every day and working towards my fitness test, which is in a month's time. So and riding as much as I can, riding a bit more fast work, hopefully. So yeah, James is very much in charge of that. So I do what I'm told. So he kind of says, this week you will be, and it's last push, and trying to get everyone up to come and watch on the day, and just everyone just to try and support and donate as much as they can.
We've got one more podcast to do before hopefully the race day. I've lined up Sophia Monkman, who came second in the race in 2012, and also we're hoping to get former Derby winning jockey Michael Hills on the show as well.
Well, that'll be great. What two amazing guests to have.
Well, finally, I'd like to thank James Ferguson, Glen Reid, the surprise guest, and Megan Hayman Tansley for joining us on this episode of Embracing the Challenge Part 2. And thank you, Hermione, for again being our star guest.
Well, thank you so much for having me, and for everyone's support, for everyone that's donated so far. I'm so grateful, and it's incredibly encouraging. Thank you.
Well, let's hope the sun keeps shining as you're going up Warren Hill.
Yes. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed we have more weather like this.
Sports Social Podcast Network.